She was a flower child dreamer with the whole wide world to see. Then they said, think for yourself, while handing her what to believe. They painted shadows on the windows, said the outside world was cold, but she kept the spark inside her, and that spark refused to fold. Now Magoo is here, with an open heart and open eyes. Magoo is here, laughing loud beneath a kinder sky. She broke through the fear, found a world that holds her near. So pull up a chair, Magoo is here.
That was from Mark Bunker. He made that.
Yeah, that's good.
So this is Tori Chrisman. My nickname is Tori Magoo because my YouTube site is Tori Magoo 44 in honor of my father. So anyway, my guest tonight is Jeff Jacobsen, who was someone, I believe you were never in Scientology, right?
I took 2 courses, but I was never trying to get in or anything. No.
Right. Right. What did you take? What courses?
Something about 2D, the marriage stuff, you know. That was I forget that. And then I took the first, like, an introductory course where they audited me a little bit, you know, without a meter. Like book 1 auditing kind of stuff.
Yeah, book 1.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only 2 things I ever did. But I've read a lot.
And you've been a huge activist.
Yeah.
I met Jeff, I think in 2000, right? When I escaped out. And were you working at Lisa McPherson Trust at the time?
Yeah, I was the librarian for the Lisa McPherson Trust in Clearwater.
Oh, cool. Cool. So, hey, Moose on the Loose, hi. And Kelly is here. Jeff is here, Kathy. All right. Hi, you guys. Thank you for coming by. So we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the old times a little bit, just how different it is from now.
Yeah, well, you want to go back to the 90s? That's when I started protesting, was in the 90s.
Really? And what happened then? That's when Arnie got raided, right?
When what?
Arnie got raided?
Oh, yes, exactly, yeah. That was the beginning. I was there for the beginning of that, yeah. So in 94, I got on the internet for the first time and discovered this little group, alt.religion.scientology, which is, back then you just type back and forth to each other. You know, that's all you can do.
Right.
So there was a little chat group about Scientology. And I went in there, and I had been involved with the Cult Awareness Network before that. Oh, and before that, I was in a cult myself for 6 years. But anyway.
What was the cult you were in?
It's a Pentecostal type church.
No, okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got into CAN. And then from CAN, I still had my interest in cults. And I got on the internet and found a place where I could chat with people. Okay, so the reason I was interested in Scientology was when I started going to CAN meetings, Cult Awareness Network, I met families who had children in Scientology, including Ida Camber, you know.
Right.
And so that kind of piqued my interest. And it turns out, to my mind, Scientology is worse than what I was in, for sure.
Oh,
you know,
God,
so,
way worse.
Yeah, and so that got me interested in that. And from there, it just kind of blossomed. 95, I think it was, on the chat group on the internet, we decided to protest. So in Mesa, Arizona, I protested there. And we sort of had several protests around the world, actually, like 10 different cities, you know. There's probably like 5 people per city. So it wasn't much, but it was a start. And so then from that, it just kind of built up from then on that we were doing stuff. So that's how I got interested in Scientology.
It really blossomed.
Oh, yeah.
The whole critic movement, I mean, was very little there back then compared to now.
Yeah, and there wasn't really much you could do in a way also.
But on the other hand, we had the protesting with the picket sign. They don't do that anymore.
Right. Yeah, that started, like I say, in like 95, for me anyway. There have been other protesters before that, public protesters, but we tried to organize something. Our next one was had 17 cities around the world, maybe 300
Wow.
people total, so it never got very big. And in 98, was it 97? 97, I think, we started to decide, why don't we protest in one place instead of everybody picketing, all over the world. So we chose
Yeah.
Clearwater because that's their spiritual headquarters. It has an international airport and it's nice and warm usually. So the first time we picketed there was like 18 of us, I think. And of course, it was very cold. It was like 30 degrees or something. It was crazy.
Was Mark there then?
I think he was in LA for the first one, but he came for some of the others, I think. So after that, we did annually 97, 98, 99, 2000 was the last annual protest that we did. So 97, 98, I think, was when we switched over. We were doing it in December and to be close to Hubbard's birthday, right? It's in December. Oh, wait, that's March. Oh, yeah, in March. That's right. Okay. We were doing it in March based on Hubbard's birthday because we thought more people would be at our event.
Right.
And then we found out about Lisa McPherson, and then we switched to December.
And you found out about that, right? You were the person who discovered that, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you how that happened too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So at one of the protests, I think the second one, we tried to be real close with the police about what we were doing. We wanted to be just straightforward with everybody in the city and get along with everybody. So they were pretty nice to us too. Because we were trying to be nice to them. And one of the people I was dealing with said, "Hey, you should look at this website, the police department website called homicide.htm." And there was a few cases that they hadn't figured out what was going on yet. One of them was Lisa McPherson, which I'd never heard of before, but it said her last known address was 210 South Fort Harrison.
Wow.
That is the base flag land base.
That's Scientology.
And we knew that because that's where we were protesting. So that hit me, wait a minute, that's her last known address? So it kind of blew up from there. We tried, as all our group on the internet, including ex-members and stuff, tried to find, does anybody know this Lisa McPherson? And nobody really did. So it kind of, in a way, died with us. But Cheryl Waldrop was a reporter at the Tampa Tribune at the time. When I sent her information about our protest, I also sent her information about that death, because I thought that was suspicious. Maybe she could do something. And she did. And just before our protest that one year, front page of the Tampa Tribune says mysterious death at Flag Land Base or something, something like that. So she's the one that actually exposed everything to the world.
Right.
Yeah, because we kind of had lost it.
But didn't you put a website up and everything with all the information?
Yeah, I did that after her paper, her reporting came out. Yeah, and that's still up.
That was really important, and it's still up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's excuse me. I have giant frogs in my throat.
Uh-oh.
But that's a really key website because it really, really shows and tells what happened to Lisa McPherson, who ended up, for anybody online or watching who doesn't know, she was in Scientology, wanted to get out. This is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong. And she went out in the street and took off her clothes, and the police got her and took her to Morton Plant Hospital. And then Scientology came and said, no, 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 she's our parishioner. We're going to take care of her. We'll take care of her. And they basically put her in a room and for 17 days, and then she died. They put her in a car to drive her out to a Scientology doctor, which was 45 minutes away, and she ended up passing away.
Yes,
Right?
that's basically correct. Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
then after that, Scientology said, well, she died from a fast-acting disease in the last day of her life, right? So the police,
Fast-acting disease?
yeah, some kind of, I forget what they called it, but anyway, so she was fine until the last day of her life, and then she got really sick. They took her to the hospital, quickly, supposedly. They passed 4 other hospitals, by the way, on the way to the one that had a Scientology doctor.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So that did not fit the body. The body
Right.
showed that there were wounds, bruises. She had lost a lot of weight. A lot of things show that it was not like that on the last day of her life. Something
No.
happened way before that.
Yeah.
So that kind of grew from there, and the police were always investigating. The family finally sued civilly. The state finally filed charges against them, against the church, not people, but against the
Right.
church for doing something with a dead body, or I forget, some stupid claim anyway, and then finally the state dropped that. So all that really happened was they settled out of court with the family. And
Yeah, and that's
only,
sealed, so we don't know how much they got.
correct. So that's the only
Right?
punishment they ever got out of killing Lisa McPherson. So, but
Insane.
they got some bad publicity, and hopefully they'll always have bad publicity from that.
Yeah, I think that, and especially that's how you putting up that website is really, really vital, because
Yeah.
the website really shows it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And otherwise you can say, well, this person did that, but it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. But with the
Yeah.
website, you can really go and study it and read it and find out what actually happened. It was horrific, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly said it was horrific, and you're right. And
Tony
I
Ortega,
don't, huh?
Tony Ortega has stuff as well on his website.
Right.
He keeps up with that quite well.
Yeah, Tony's great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but I have epilepsy, right?
Yes.
And after OT3, I thought, okay, I'm done. Who needs this medicine, right? So I stopped taking my medicine. And I went into what's called status epilepticus. Now, this was in 1979, so a long time ago. And I was way brainwashed at the time. I was like really in Scientology. But somehow, I mean, I have no idea how, but I was able to think, because I went into status epilepticus, which is multiple grand mal seizures.
Okay.
And the doctors, anyway, I was able to think, don't call Scientology, Tori, because they're gonna, and this was way before Lisa McPherson, but I thought they're gonna do the same thing. They'll put me in a car, drive me miles to a Scientology doctor, and it'll kill me.
Mhm.
So I called this guy on the fence who was leaving Scientology, and I said, Jerry, get over here right now. And the next thing I knew, I came back to consciousness in Morton Plant Hospital, which is where Lisa was.
Oh, wow.
And if they'd left her there, she'd be alive. And the
Yes.
doctors all said, five more minutes and you would have been dead.
Wow.
So if I had called them, I would have been another dead person.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah. It's, I mean, Scientology is dangerous because they think they have knowledge and abilities in areas that they don't really. Medicine
Totally.
being one. Your
Totally.
case proves that. Lisa's case proves that. Mental too. Lisa was the reason she was had her problem the very first day was she was under a lot of stress and everything, and not apparently not getting help from Scientology. So she was going somewhere in her car. This is what happened to her. She's going somewhere in her car, kind of bumped into the back of this boat. at a stop sign, and which wasn't really a big deal. The guy in the pulling the boat said he hardly felt it. But anyway, so she gets out of the car, takes all her clothes off, and starts walking down the street. And there just happened to be an ambulance there for a previous accident, and they saw her do this and threw her into the ambulance. Says, "What are you doing?" And that's why they took her to the hospital. She was having more mental problems than physical problems,
Right.
which is the reason they took her to the hospital, actually, to see why did you do this crazy thing.
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
and the doctor said, we think you should be held, and we can evaluate you. But as you said, all of her Scientology friends came to the hospital and said, no, we don't believe in psychiatry. We're going to take her away and we'll take care of her.
Yeah.
So rather than have someone in Morton Plant Hospital figure out what's wrong with her and help her, they took her and put her in isolation at the Fort Harrison Hotel until she died. Thinking
Well,
that they
she
know
died
better
in the
than
car.
Pardon?
She died in the car, right?
Oh, that was like 17 days later. Yeah. Yeah. They held her in the hotel for 17 days. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And did gross things. I taught one of the kids that was a watcher of her,
Oh, wow.
and I taught her in 6th grade.
Huh.
And man, they got her out of the country immediately.
Yeah. The whole story is just so crazy.
I know, so crazy. Now, 49ers for Life had a question for you. Does Jeff have any stories about Bob Minton?
Well, I worked at the Lisa McPherson Trust for a year and a half, the last time that they were open. So I had interactions with Bob, but not, I think, in a way I was sort of isolated at the trust because I was upstairs in the library. The library's on the 2nd floor, and I'm the only person up there, putting all these books away and organizing things. And when people come to look at stuff, I would show them things. And I did research for the people downstairs. Okay,
Yeah,
so people downstairs kind of would socialize way more than with me because I'm upstairs on my own. So with Bob, I did not have as much interaction with him, really. And then sometimes they would go to his place in, where is it? New Hampshire.
Yeah, I went with them with that.
Okay, yeah.
You
So
know how
some of the crew would go up with him to New Hampshire and everything, and I didn't ever do that. So I have somewhat of a superficial relationship with him, which I thought he was a good guy and he was trying to do good things. I'll definitely.
he was a really great guy. How that came about, the New Hampshire thing, at least the one that I went with him on, was, I had escaped out of this cult, and I grew up around a family that had pretty good money, and he's supposed to be a multimillionaire. And so they say, okay, Tori, you can stay upstairs in our guest room in our house. So first of all, I walk in the house and there's nothing. There's like a dining room table, their bedroom, which just had a bed, and my bed upstairs. That was it. They didn't have any couch for the living room. They just had nothing.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, because you have to remember, I went there. I mean, I wanted to get out of Scientology, but I also wasn't sure if they were OSA. They could have been OSA, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just because they did that, where they wanted to find out who were the people that are leaving.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see, if they were cool, I was going to come back, get my husband, and then we'd be out. But my husband ended up staying in. But Bob, I kept thinking about it, and I thought, I don't know. So I finally told him, and I said, look, I don't get it. You're a multimillionaire. You have nothing here. It's like, this is, if something's not adding up, and I'm kind of worried about it. And that night he said, okay, we're going to New Hampshire. And we flew up there. And in New Hampshire, he lives in this gigantic 3-story, beautiful home with just so much love and wonder and beautifulness, and a yard like the Queen of England would have, just beautiful. So, he was a really fun guy. And if anybody wants to see that, it was on Magoo Dancing in Boston. That's where that
Okay.
was filmed.
Yeah.
Because we went from New Hampshire back to Boston and they wanted to protest. And so I thought Mark Bunker was filming them protesting, but he
Okay.
was really making that video, Magoo Dancing in Boston.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
One also thing, when you left, it was the same time Jerry Armstrong was visiting at the Lisa McPherson Trust.
Right.
Yeah. So Jerry and me, I will confess, thought that you came to get help. Stacy Brooks and Bob offered to help you, so you came to Clearwater. And Jerry coincidentally was at the same time, right? Jerry is one of the #1 enemies of Scientology, by the way. He was
He
going to
is
be,
the #1
yeah, he was
enemy.
going to be Hubbard's biographer, and then he
Yeah.
left. Uh,
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're thinking, man, the timing of this is just quite coincidental, isn't it? You know, to have this person who claims to be quitting Scientology suddenly come to the Lisa McPherson Trust at the same time as Jerry Armstrong's here, you know,
Oh.
things like that. So
Oh.
we were very suspicious of you.
I knew that because
Okay.
Jerry, Ursula Caberta was flying in the next day.
Okay.
She was flying in, and
So that's
that's
even
why
worse.
you got, huh?
That's even worse. More suspicious of you.
Well, that's why you were there. That's why you guys were there to
Yeah.
meet Ursula, to greet her, not to meet her, but but to greet her. And I didn't know anything about this till months later. Stacy told me. But what happened is they thought, me meeting Stacy, Bob, and Jesse was bad enough for
Yeah.
somebody so brainwashed. And then to meet Ursula Caberta, they were right, because she was on the German government making sure that Scientologists weren't sneaking into different businesses in
Right.
Germany.
Yeah.
That was her job. And so it would have been too much for me. Stacy was right. So they didn't tell me. So now we go, remember there's that big causeway from Tampa and the Tampa airport over to Clearwater.
Yeah.
And so in the middle was where we were staying in a hotel. I didn't know we were staying there because they were meeting Ursula the next day in the airport.
Okay.
But anyway, we're there for breakfast and Jerry comes in and I'm excited to meet him. I've never met him, and I'm like, Jerry, thinking, hey, I'm here, I'm out. And he was so pissed off at me.
Huh.
And he kept saying they, or we, they. And I said, well, who are we and who's they? And he goes, well, we are we, like you and Jerry and the
Yeah.
critics. And he goes, and they are you, Osa.
Oh my God. No, I didn't know you did that.
I just burst out crying. I ran outside. I was just going to catch a truck and just leave. And that was
Yeah.
it. I would have been done, gone. That was it, out of there forever.
Wow.
But luckily, Jesse Prince came running after me, got me, hugged me, and said, look, we're going to go upstairs. And he said, don't worry about it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Wow.
So
No, I didn't
anyway,
know that.
yeah. And I don't think Jerry to this day likes me. I really don't. But not for any other reason than he's probably still got old stuff of whatever he thought then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult. My view of the ex-members is you never lose it all. You never lose all the Scientology out of your head, and it just, you're in it, and it's affected you, and you do your best from then on. To move on with life, but there's always some little piece that's going to stay there.
Okay.
I mean, me too. I was in a cult, like I said, for 6 years, and there's things that affected me from that 6 years that I'll never really, that's just a part of me now. I can't help it.
So have you done any protesting since you've in a while, or where are you at on it?
Not against Scientology, no. Whew, when was the last time? Maybe 10 years ago or more. Last time I
Wow.
protested Scientology. I protested uh, uh, Trump, There's a Trump statue here in Rapid City where I live, and sometimes I protest in front of the Trump statue, you know,
That's
things like
good.
that. So there's other things to protest as well. And it's
Oh yeah.
also the closest thing to Scientology from where I am is 300 miles to Denver. Denver is the
Wow.
closest Scientology
Wow.
organization. So even if I did want to protest it, I'd have to spend a day there and a day to go back to
Yeah,
do.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's 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 quite a ways out. So you live in Colorado?
No, South Dakota, in Rapid
Oh,
City. I'm
I
close
think that's
to,
where I think
yeah, I'm
that's where
close
my
to Mount Rushmore.
grandfather grew up.
Really? Oh, what town? What town?
It's either South or North Dakota. I can
Okay.
never remember, but
Yeah.
one of those he was in.
Oh, cool.
And he had the greatest stories. He was really good at telling stories and scaring us to death. And we were like city kids, we were from Chicago, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll never forget it. My cousin and I think a couple of years ago, we got together and we were talking, and we were still like, we really don't know if he was just making it up or if it really happened. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what it is, and I'll tell you what my son said. He told us, I mean, he's really good at telling a story. So it was a really long story, but it ended up with these wolves ate, the kids got off the bus, and these wolves ate the teacher that got off the bus,
Oh,
which is awful, but it just scared us to death. We
I,
were just like, oh my God.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah, I know. My son said wolves don't eat people. So,
Well, there's hardly any wolves around here. There's just starting to be bears again, but there aren't any wolves in South Dakota even, I don't think.
I wonder what brought the bears back.
Well, there's some in Wyoming. I think what it is, the Black Hills are a nice, good place for bears. There was always had been bears until the white people came, shot them all.
Okay. All right.
So there's just some from Wyoming kind of sneak over once in a while, and I think they're just starting to stay now. So
Wow. Well, I don't. I to this day I don't know whether he's and all the people that would know have passed away. So
yeah, well,
he's somewhere in one of the Dakotas. But he was a
yeah.
great guy, and he used to always say he was a doctor, and he would always say "Hearts of Oak." And I interviewed. Do you know Reese?
Don't know.
Anyway, she's one of the live streamers, and she came here and she brought me this little
Okay,
thing for the
yeah.
Hearts of Oak. I really like it.
Yeah.
But he would say that all the time. Like even before he was dying, my mom called me. She said, "Tori, Granddad's passing away. Call him." And I thought he was going to be like really upset or something. And I called him up and I said, "Granddad, how are you doing?" And he said, "I'm doing fine. Hearts of Oak."
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
So as
Have
far
you
as
seen?
protesting I've been protesting other things. So
That's good. That's good. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, as the elections come, it's going to get worse and worse.
yeah, it's crazy times we're living in. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Really?
I saw a guy say that I protested with him with Anonymous. That was pretty fun too. That was
That was fun.
2008 and forward
Yeah.
for 2 years
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. That was really good. That was really good for me. It was very helpful. And it was fun because a lot of people came out who were, in the dark. They
Yeah.
wouldn't say who they were. And I kept saying, would somebody please come out, say who you are? Because I could tell they were from Gold or something because they knew all these backstories.
Oh yeah.
So after Anonymous hit, that's when they came out. Mark
Yeah.
Hadley, Claire Hadley, Jenna, a whole bunch of people. I
Yeah.
think Jeff Jacobsen. No, you're Jeff Jacobsen.
Hello.
But Jeffrey, what's his name? He just passed
Oh,
away.
oh,
Jeff Hawkins. Jeff Hawkins.
oh yeah, Jefferson Hawkins. Yeah,
Yeah,
I never got
he
to
was
meet
there.
him. Yeah.
You never got to meet him?
Nope. I was going to go to Portland, not too long ago, actually, and then I found. Well, actually, I did go to Portland, but he had died before I got there, so
Oh,
I never met him.
he's a really great guy.
Yeah. Kelly's asking about a picture. Oh, that's me protesting with Anonymous, and the get up is because the Anonymous used uh, a person in an outfit like that as kind of their logo in a way. So
Except
I
you
just
don't have a mask on.
sometimes I wore the Guy Fawkes mask. Yeah,
Yeah,
I still have it, as you can see behind me there. Yeah, most when Anonymous is protesting, I'd say most people probably wore masks, but not all of them. And I did off and on. It was,
yeah.
just
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
was really so great because you knew Scientology could not get him because of the masks.
yeah. Oh yeah, some wore gloves too.
Huh?
This is in California. We were protesting Sheriff Baca, who was not a Scientologist, I don't think, but he was always doing things that were helpful to Scientology.
Right.
So we were out there protesting about that. And then finally he got somehow kicked out. Do you remember that story? I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
I think it was some criminal thing he did that got him out of the office finally.
Yeah, thank goodness. I mean, it's so weird having, you know, just these people in the government. It's just our country is so weird at this point. It's just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
Even
just
in Clearwater, the city just passed some ordinance or whatever you want to call it, where they gave a block of city street to Scientology.
right, right. Yeah,
Right.
we were on that. Yeah, that's me in the middle. That's
Yeah.
me.
That's where you with the
Um,
sign.
yeah. We were. That, uh, I think we tried to fight that, but they won. They got the
Yeah.
block.
Yeah. So it's there's city officials. Sometimes they're what do you call it? PR kind of wins out, and people accept their PR without digging any deeper and finding out what really Scientology does.
It's kind of amazing to me because I spent more time than I'll take telling you now. But I mean, I've spent a lot of time in Clearwater talking to the public, and they hate Scientology. I mean, they really do.
Yeah,
So
you
they
mean
must have,
after you left, you're talking to
yeah,
people.
after I left. Well, yeah. Well, wait, let me think. No, in 79, I was in Scientology,
Okay.
1979. I left in 2000.
Oh,
And in 79, we moved there. And they
right.
had Save Sparkling Clearwater stamp out Scientology.
Yeah.
And they had
Okay.
already done the thing with Gabe Gazaris,
Right.
the mayor, where they screwed him over.
Yeah.
And so then the city commissioner, Richard Tinney, was going to run for office. And if you think our protests were big, you should have seen theirs. I mean, they just had hundreds and hundreds of people driving by, signs, honk out Scientology, stamp out Scientology. And
Wow.
Milt Wolf told me, he called me into his office and he goes, Tori, you have to handle this. And I go, me? How can I handle it? I have a brand new kid and get the Sea Org to handle it. And he said, we can't.
Hmm.
And I said, why not? And he said, because his whole premise was don't vote for Scientology. They're liars. And he said, this is top secret. You can't tell anybody, but we did lie. Did you know this story?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. So they bought the Fort, they were going to go to Georgia and then they got wind that the FBI were going to plant drugs on the ship and arrest Hubbard. So they zoomed around to Fort Clearwater, and that's why they bought the Fort Harrison under another name.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name?
Uh, United
It's-
Churches of Florida.
that's it. That's right.
Yeah. 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 So you've seen all the big protests then practically. You've seen the one
Yeah,
with Sparkling Clearwater, you've seen
yeah.
Anonymous, you've seen us because you when I was protesting in LA, you were trying to handle us. So
I was what?
you were handling us and when I first protested in LA,
In
you
the
came out and
90s?
yeah, yeah. You came out in front of the Celebrity Center and were trying
Mm,
to talk to us.
yeah, me and Harold, my
Yeah.
husband.
So
Yeah,
you've seen all the big protests.
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
good.
I've been there on both sides. I really
Yeah,
have.
that's
But
cool.
I think it helps me be a better protester because I know what it feels like to have people scream at you, and then
Mhm.
you go back inside, and Osa always says, "Do you really want to be friends with those people?" And you go, "No,"
Yeah,
because it's like, who wants to be friends with somebody who's screaming at you?
right. There
So,
are there are some videos of that time.
yeah,
Mhm. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
even when you were
Bunker
here,
has
yeah,
them.
yeah. Mhm.
Mark,
Yeah,
I know
look at
Mark.
Mark Bunker stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he has so much footage.
Yeah, and he started back then, 96 or somewhere around there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Bob hired him for Lisa McPherson Trust to be the filmmaker.
right.
That's how I met him because he was here to film the Fourth of July thing,
Okay. Yeah,
and I was sent out to handle him for that.
that's good. That's great. Mhm.
Kind of weird, it really is,
Yeah.
but it's been interesting. It's definitely been interesting to be, you know. And then, did you know this? I mean, recently, Scientology, we pulled up to LA Org, do you know where that, the complex?
Sure, sure. The Big Blue?
Excuse me, this was a couple years ago, and there were big Christmas lights and no one on the street. One guy was on the street. And so I said, "Hey, hey, come on over." And he came over and I said, "The lights are really nice, aren't they?" And he goes, "Yeah, they really are." And so I looked at my friend and I said, "He's a Scientologist," thinking he was. And I said, then I thought, well, I better ask. So I said, "Are you a Scientologist?" And he goes, "Oh, no, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness." And
Oh,
I said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "Well, my friend is in there doing a personality test." And so I
oh,
said, "Call him up and have him come out." And I turn on my Facebook video thing because this is the first time we've ever seen a real person, who's doing a personality test. So he
okay.
comes out and he goes, "Are you making a video?" And I said, "Not of you, not of you. It's just, I'm just telling people about what's going on." And he goes, "No, I want to be videotaped. Put it up. Here's my personality test."
Oh, wow.
But anyway, they wanted him to pay $5,000
Jeez.
because he was newly divorced. And I said, "Look, just so you know, it's a giant ripoff, and there's going to be a security guard that's going to come here in about 2 minutes, and he's going to tell you a bunch of lies about me.
Yeah,
So just don't give him the money and realize that they lie." And sure enough, the security guard drives up or
yeah.
pulls up on a bike, and they take him inside. And so
Oh,
I say to the ex Jehovah's Witness, "Well, go get your friend." And he goes up to the door and he goes, "They locked the door."
oh,
And I said,
wow.
"Really?" "Well, call him up and say, get out here. They can't lock him up like that." So he comes out and we talk. And anyway, long story short, he doesn't do it. And the next day I call him. I get his phone number and I call him because I want to make sure he didn't give him the $5,000 and get suckered into it.
Yeah.
And in the old days, we would have driven out to wherever he was and gotten the money.
Hmm.
So I say, and he'd come out. The second time he came out, and he goes like this: "Wow, they really hate you." And I said, "I warned you." And so now I'm talking to him on the phone, and I say, "Did you give him the 5 grand?" "No, I'm a wrestler. I'm going to Japan." I said, "Okay, good," because then I knew he'll be okay. And so I said, just out of curiosity, what did they say to you? Because I never saw someone look so white after talking to them.
Hmm.
And they said, well, they told me that you are an undercover CIA agent.
Whoa, nice.
And someone sent me this hat. So this is my undercover CIA hat.
Oh,
Isn't that a great story, though?
so probably a promotion, I guess. I don't know.
It was. That's the way I felt. It's like, wow, SP to XC. Well, not X. They were saying undercover.
Yeah, yeah.
Undercover
Cool.
CIA agent.
No, I don't know. I don't think they say anything about me like that. We pick it in LA a few times though.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah.
And
You should.
Mark's got videos of that. Yeah.
Tori, Jeff did a funny video about protesters. We could show it a little tonight. Yeah. When did you do that?
Oh, okay. Well, let me explain maybe. So the last big protesters I ever did was with Anonymous. So that was way back in 2010. They kind of petered out. Then the next actual big group was what I call auditors, the people who have been protesting last 2 years, let's say, something like that.
Right.
And they do things in a way that I don't particularly agree with. So I sort of made fun of them, some of the things they were doing with little videos I made. So that's one of the ones I think she's going to show here.
Now, are these auditors in the church, or these are the guys that are out of the church, but they're independent auditors?
Well, that's what do they call it? Streets LA was one of the first they're sort of protesters, but they're also I shouldn't really explain this, but auditing to me, they're auditing, the protesters auditing currently is
I get you. Like Audit LA.
Right, came from Streets LA, who was originally auditing the police. What that meant was he hung out where the police were active and assumed that they would do something terrible, and then he would expose them. So that's what auditing is you hang out and assume that bad guys are going to do something wrong, and you'll catch them on your video, put them on YouTube and everything. So that's sort of what they're doing with Scientology, or they started to do that, this group of people. And the way they were protesting or auditing or whatever you call it, I somewhat disagreed with. So I made some hopefully funny videos kind of making fun of how they were doing things. And that's what probably she's going to show you here.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Excuse me, sir. Where are you going? Huh? Oh, hi. Oh, I'm going to the cultural fair. I saw a flyer about it, and it looked interesting. I'm in the neighborhood, so I thought I would stop by and see what it's about. Okay, but I want you to know the Church of Scientology is an evil organization that practices human trafficking and baby killing. Okay, well, thanks for that. Thank you for coming to the cultural event. We have many things here for you today. We have cultural booths, informational booths, free food, and bouncy houses. Please make yourself at home. Okay, thanks. Say, do you know about this lady over here? She's a little strange. Yes, we know about those people. We know who they are. We know what they're doing here. They will be handled. Just understand that they are child traffickers and baby killers. Okay, thank you. Do you know where the free food is? Certainly. Follow me. Okay, thanks.
There you go.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Who was that guy in the black?
That was me. It was all me.
That was you?
Yeah. I just dressed up with my Scientology cross and everything.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
That was really funny. That's even funnier. Oh my God.
So it's sort of like one of the things that the auditors do is they always want to be filming everything with their phone cameras, and sometimes I don't think they understood how the people that are being filmed feel about that, So I don't know.
You're not talking about this. But you're not talking about the Scientology auditors, right?
No, I'm talking about the protester auditors.
So the live streamers, that's what we call them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, which I think. Anyway, we don't have to get into why I think it's bad or anything, but I think there's problems with the way they do their protesting or auditing, whatever you want to call it.
All right. Well, it's definitely, they've shut down everything here, every single building. And that's mainly Streets said that. He said, I'm going to shut it down.
Yeah.
Another video from back in the day from Bunker showing Jeff's crimes. Oh, good.
We'll start somewhere. Am I a
Let's see
criminal?
that.
What did I do? What did I do that's criminal? I don't know. What did I do? That's a
Are you
criminal.
taking
You're calling me
money
a
from
criminal.
me?
You're calling me a criminal. So what is the criminal thing I did?
Well, you're here demonstrating for no reason.
That's a constitutional right.
And do you take money from Minton? Do you smoke drugs?
No, I don't.
And do you take money from Minton for doing what you're doing?
I'm hired by the Lisa McPherson Trust.
Exactly. Well,
That's a crime?
That's
a
blood
crime?
money.
Wait. That's a crime?
Blood money. That's blood money.
So you're
from
calling
the
me a criminal
Nigerians. Yes.
because I
yes.
work for the Lisa
You
McPherson
are
Trust.
a criminal.
And that's a crime.
Yes, that's a crime because you take money from a criminal.
I'm a criminal because I work for the Lisa McPherson Trust.
Yes, you are a criminal.
Sure.
You are. Oh, and her friend, the
definition of
Crims.
criminal?
Hi, guys.
The
Crims. Yeah. Do you pay taxes on the money that he pays you?
Well, oh my God, they're talking about paying taxes?
I pay
A criminal,
taxes, yeah.
a criminal cult that doesn't pay
Yes.
taxes?
Oh,
For God's sake. See
You
what they
are
do?
a criminal.
This is a
You are a
Scientologist.
criminal. That's right, an
This
MOTA.
is called bull baiting, but they're
Yes.
very, very bad at it.
Yeah. So that was in
You guys
Clearwater.
coming out
Oh,
and yelling at us demonstrates what you guys
Well,
really like.
you know, to me, what this just indicates is that there's just more crimes there that you guys have not got off. That's all. That's what I see.
Well, that's Hubbard's belief.
Well,
that anyone
yeah,
who's a
but
critic
it's
is a
fair.
criminal.
Hey,
But
but
it
Jesse,
isn't true.
Jesse,
Look at me.
Jesse,
Look at me. Look at me.
Hey,
Look at me.
Jesse, he's your executive.
Am I a
director.
criminal?
That's right.
Am I a criminal?
Yes,
What's my
Jesse
crime?
is like your number two
Wait a
in
minute. Wait a
command.
minute. Wait a minute. He says
He's your
all
number
critics
two
are criminals.
What about
Okay,
your
I'm a
taxes
critic.
there, Jeff?
What
It's
about my
like committing
taxes?
crimes. Committing crimes. All right.
Okay, tell me about
get
my
your
taxes.
data
Wait a
straight.
minute. Wait a minute. He's accusing me
Are
of...
you helping to cover up for
Are
Jesse
you
on this drug
accusing
thing?
me of cheating on my
Are
taxes?
you
Is
helping?
that what
Are
it
you
is?
helping to cover up
That's
for
got to
Jesse
be
on
what it is.
this?
Are you helping
This
to
is
cover
Joe
up
Neal.
Jesse's
This is
thing?
Joe Neal now.
You're
You're saying...
helping
Wait a
to
minute.
cover
Are you
up
helping
Jesse.
to cover up? No. You're accusing me
Yeah,
of something right
okay.
Yeah, I am. You're covering
now. You're
up for Jesse.
accusing me of being a tax dodger.
You're covering up for Jesse.
That's got to
Are
be
you
what it is.
accusing me of being a tax dodger?
You're covering up
Are
for
you
See, now
covering
this
up
is
for
not a
Jesse?
conversation because
Are you
Right, it's
covering up
not.
for
You're
Jesse?
covering up for Jesse.
he
Yeah,
refuses to
admit it.
discuss what I'm trying to say and just sticks on one point.
You know,
That's
Oh, okay. Can I explain that a little bit?
Sure.
This was going on in Clearwater when I was at the Lisa McPherson Trust. One thing about Bob Minton, which I liked, is he liked to protest, and I like to protest. So we go out almost not every day, but quite often, and that's the kind of thing that happened. Most of those people, the Scientologists in that video, are from the OT committee, whose job basically, when we were there, was to handle us LMT people, Lisa McPherson Trust people. So whenever we go out to protest, they come out and call us criminals, and videotape us right to our noses, with their videotape cameras and try to harass us in any way they could think of legally, sometimes illegally. We'd be followed by private investigators as soon as we left work. It was a very strange time. But anyway, that's kind of a good video where you can see how the OT committee was trying to handle us as we protest.
Yeah, and just for people who don't know, the OT committee is just made up of public. I was on one of the OT committees here in LA.
Yeah.
But they didn't send us out to handle protesters at that time. We had a different thing where we were supposed to. They wanted us to get rid of all bad PR having to do with L. Ron Hubbard.
Good luck.
Good luck on that.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's interesting times. That was for sure.
That was funny with you as a minister. That is hysterical. I want to watch it again.
Oh, okay.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Because you really look different. I kept thinking, is that Jeff? And I thought,
Oh, okay. Good, good.
yeah, it was a good fake out. Really good.
Yeah, I've got a few about that, about the Scientology in general, mostly about protesting. And then some, 3 or 4, I was making fun of the uh, current protesters that I disagreed with.
Right.
And then also lots of protest videos from way back when, 90s, 2000s. Also Anonymous, the times that when Anonymous was here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, SP, I like that one. That was our second protest, I think. We bought T-shirts with big SP on the back, which stands for suppressive person.
Right.
And we thought, well, if Scientology is going to call us suppressive people, we'll just advertise.
And that has continued. We are still doing that.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah. Those are funny though. That's funny that how did you do that so that it looked like you were talking to yourself? How did you do that?
Oh, you just videotape the one person's script, and then you do the other person's script, and then you just cut and paste it together so
Oh,
it looks that way. And you're looking one direction as one person and another direction as the another person, so it looks like they're talking to each other. Yeah,
that is really clever. Really clever.
yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's very funny. You should do some more of those. That's funny.
Yeah, I did one on what was his name? Zero Dark Tony. I
Oh
did one
yeah.
on him too.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, yeah. He kind of faded out, I think. I don't think he's
I
doing
think so
anything
too,
anymore.
or else he went to jail.
Oh,
I don't know.
well, that could be the reason.
One or the other. Now, what is this? Warning.
It's another one I did. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, that's Zero Dark Tony, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how he
Oh,
starts his video. So I started my video like that.
oh, clever. Clever.
Yeah.
He was a weird guy, wasn't he?
Welcome to the channel. Today is the airing of grievances, as is every day. To my former girlfriend, Olive, all I'm going to say is, if you continue harassing me, I'm going to spread around the country photos of you and me together. And you know what that will do to your reputation. Even though you dump me, those photos will be a stain on your decision-making abilities forevermore. So just a warning there. And I'm adding you to the lawsuit as a co-conspirator. So don't make any plans for October of 2037. Okay. The other day, this tiny man in a sweater comes to my door and says, hi, Mr. Rogers. Would you like to be my neighbor? And I saw right through this dude right away. He's hired by somebody to spy on me, just doing recon work. So ain't going to work. Mr. Rogers, you'll be getting a subpoena soon. And I see you talking to the neighbor kids, you perv. You are a groomer, and the police have been called. Just a warning to you. Look, Mr. Rogers says he's seen my videos. I asked him if he watched all the way through, which is important. He said not most of them, but he was sure somehow, somewhere in all that hate was a kind person. What? Let me explain this again in legal terms. If you don't watch my videos to the end, that's a misdemeanor. If you don't enjoy my videos, that's a felony. So you can enjoy them to the end, no problem. It's up to you how you want to handle it. Otherwise, you might find yourself with a subpoena and a 2037 court date. Okay. Look, now, you know, people that are against me, you attack me first. So I'm against you. I was happy being aimless and doing nothing with my life, but then you had to come along and be mean to me. So don't think all those TROs are bad for me. All those TROs you got, those are useful because those sworn statements from you pervs that I can use in my triple twisting jujitsu lawsuit coming your way will show that I'm the victim. Obvious. It's so obvious. I'm the victim. You can gather all your out of context clips that go on for hours and hours of me saying libelous and illegal things. But in the end, my attorneys will double indemnify my smooth as Beatty Bob ass and leave you cursing and broke. You want to play games? Then game on.
It's a little more funny if you know who ZDT is.
Yeah.
because that's what he was doing. He was always threatening people and, just being really weird. So I just tried to kind of
Was
copy
that Zero Dark Tony or who's DDT?
ZDT, Zero Dark Tony.
Oh,
Yeah.
ZDT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny with your glasses. That was really cool.
Yeah. He had glasses kind of like that. So I
He did. I
made
know.
them.
I know.
Yeah. It's probably not funny if you don't know who that guy is, but I had fun making it anyway.
Ah, it was good. It was good. And that's exactly how he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. There's definitely peculiar people out there. That's for sure.
Well, luckily we got to know some really good ones with Bob, Stacy. Do you know what happened to Stacy, where she is?
I believe she's in Georgia. I'm not positive. I think that's where she wound up. Yeah. But I haven't talked to her since we all left the trust. The trust closed down in like December of 2001, I think. I don't know that I've talked to her since then even. So
Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Oh, I did after that because Bunker was living down in San Diego, and she came to visit Bunker.
hmm.
So Bunker called me, and I went down there. So I saw her then, but I can't remember what year it is. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fun to see.
Oof. So many weird things happened back and 2000, 2001. That's so many strange things happened at the trust there. The lawsuits were going on, and there was so much legal things. Bob Minton and Stacy had to go to court all the time to testify, and
Right.
just so much strangeness going on.
And then Heather came.
Yeah, I didn't ever knew her that well either, really.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It
yeah.
was an interesting crowd. It really was. And there was another lady there that taught me something that was really, she had a young child and they were disconnected. The husband was still in Scientology and she was out at the Lisa McPherson Trust.
Okay.
And she told me, I said, is he doing anything, saying anything to your kid or anything? And she said, no, because I looked it up. She went through all the legal things and found that in the state of Florida, if you're divorced like that and one of the parents starts talking down to the child about the partner, I forget if it was like $10,000 or $20,000 and a couple of years in jail. It was
I didn't
really
know that.
intense. So he
Jeez.
stopped immediately. It was really cool. But I thought that was good.
I didn't know about that. Yeah. Wow.
And that might be in more states, so for anybody who does have kids and you're divorced and if you have a worry about that, check out the legal laws in your
Yeah.
state. Because I never even knew about that. Did you?
No. But I don't have any kids either, so
Yeah.
I'm safe, and they're safe. So yeah, I don't know.
What did you say?
I said all the kids are safe because I don't have any kids. So
What got you to move to South Dakota?
I grew up here. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I lived here till I was 1980. I moved to Phoenix to go to school, and I stayed there till 2008, and then I moved back here to South Dakota.
Wow.
Oh, and then 2000 in Clearwater. Yeah.
And what got you to go to Clearwater?
Well, it was kind of strange. I was there before they actually opened up, kind of. I'm not sure how I got there. I mean, why I went there, but I was doing volunteer work with this big compilation of.
Well, maybe it was the Cult
library.
Awareness Network.
No.
Was it that?
No. I was in Clearwater helping Bob and Stacy. They had just got a big collection, which you may know where they got that collection of.
How would
material.
I know it?
Okay, never mind.
Did you say I might know it?
Yeah, you might know where the collection came from. But anyway, okay. So I was helping them organize that, and they just asked me if I wanted to be the librarian for the Lisa McPherson Trust. I
So
had
what got you to go? How did you meet Stacy and Bob?
I first met them, I think at maybe at a CAN conference, and then at a protest in Los Angeles. They
Yeah.
protested a few times in Los Angeles, and I did too. It wasn't too far to drive from Phoenix to LA, so
Yeah.
I went to some of those protests, and that's how they knew about me. So I had a bachelor's degree in religious studies. I had been in a cult myself. They knew those things, so they knew, I have some background that would be helpful
Sure.
to be in the
You'd
trust.
be great. Yeah.
And then I was helping them with the library, so they asked me, "Want to be a librarian?" I said, "Okay." So I moved about 2,000 miles across the country to be there. And
And did you have a house in South Dakota, or you lived in an apartment?
I was in Phoenix at that time, and I owned a house in Phoenix that I rented out while I was in Clearwater.
Wow.
So when the trust died, then I moved back to Phoenix, and I got my house back. So it wasn't too bad.
No. That's good.
Yeah, it was like the whole time actually being at the trust was sort of it was always sort of iffy which way things were going to go, because I mean, there was so much pressure on Bob and Stacy, especially, that we never knew what would happen, and finally it did
Right.
collapse. So
Yeah, I'm surprised they moved to Ireland.
oh yeah, that was probably just to get away from everything. I would think, so much pressure on him and all that.
Yeah,
So.
I get that, except he had kids and he was really close to his kids.
Oh, okay.
So that part of it, I mean, that's a long flight I went to Ireland.
Okay.
They flew me over there for a conference, an SP conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me, Jerry Armstrong, I can't remember. There were a whole bunch of different people. Pete Griffith, he was part of the organization of it.
Okay.
And a lady named Sam. And but anyway, they had a bunch of different SPs, and we talked. And luckily, Anonymous came from Europe because they didn't have that many people there in Dublin.
Okay.
But Anonymous came, and they were great. They were really great.
Yeah. Almost there. Yeah. When I look back, I tell people that Anonymous is, if you want to learn a good way to protest Scientology, look at what Anonymous did and get ideas from them, because they were really sharp and smart about the way they
really sharp.
Yeah.
My favorite story with Anonymous for me was we were out protesting on L. Ron Hubbard Way, and they had all the picket signs and stuff. But remember, they'd always bring cake, and they had music going, and they'd have dancing going and stuff. So they did both protesting and having fun.
Yeah.
And so I came home that night, and my phone rang, and I picked it up, and this lady was just crying her eyes out. And I said, "Can I help you? Are you okay?" And she said, "I'm very okay." And I said, "Okay, what's going on?" And she said, "Well, my daughter's been on staff for years at LA Org, and I've been trying to get her out of Scientology, and nothing would work. But tonight, she saw Anonymous having so much fun." Excuse me. And she called me and she said, "Mom, I'm done.
Wow.
I realized I could be out there having fun with them, and I'm not, and I can't. So come get me." And that was it. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's really good. Well, that's I'll go back for a little minute about things I don't like about how some people protest. And one of them is, if you're just yelling at the Scientologists saying you guys are stupid and your leader is a criminal and all these terrible things, just yelling at them, sort of, that is what happens to them when they're in Scientology. People yell at them all the time.
Not
So,
really, but
so you as a protester, this is what I think, represent sort of outside the outside world to Scientologists when you're out there in front of their property picketing and stuff. So if you're acting the same way toward the Scientologists as happens when they're in Scientology, what's the point? What I mean, that's what the person looking at you sees the outside world as just the same as the inside Scientology. You know, I'm going to get yelled at. People are cruel. You know, and that's what I think is be nice.
yeah,
Even below, start even below the idea that you're protesting, and just as a human being to another human being, be nice.
yeah.
That's the first step of anything.
Yeah, that's actually what we do.
Yeah,
Is we just go out and talk to people
that's good.
because not too many Scientologists will talk to us. But I kept 4 people out of the Sea Org.
That's good.
And they were going to go join. I gave them my card. You know, I carry around the Scientology card that has the different websites on it and stuff.
Okay.
And I give them out all the time to young people and people of other countries because they're after people who speak 2 languages.
Ah,
And so I tell them, I say, Scientology is after you. Here's some information. Learn about it. And all 4 of them came back and said, thank you so much.
nice.
Because we were on our way to join.
Hmm. Yeah, the person says the people that I don't like managed to shut down the LA buildings, which, yeah, I guess that's true. I'm just giving my opinion of how I think protesting should go. That's all. So I'm not saying I'm 100% right on everything.
I
So,
hear you. Excuse me. No, I hear you. I really like, I mean, Streets, have you ever looked on TikTok?
I've seen his stuff on YouTube, some of his videos.
No, but I mean, have you looked at the other kids and what they say about him? Because he really has a fan base there. I mean,
No, I'm not on TikTok.
I know most people from like 50 and above are not on TikTok,
Yeah.
but I got on it because I asked those young kids, why don't you make a video about Scientology being after young kids and people who speak 2 languages? Because there's a lot of Latinos here in LA and they are after them. And so they didn't, but some lady called me and said, why don't you just make it to 1 minute and I'll put it up. And I made it and it just, I went viral the next day.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I was doing it for a while. She was helping me and then she stopped helping me. So I don't know how to do TikTok. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the little statement there was that you've helped a lot of people get out of Scientology, which I definitely agree with.
I definitely have. I have. And it's very rewarding for me.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I know how bad it can get and how expensive it is and what a waste of time it is. And, you know,
Yeah.
I can talk to them. And they usually, if people will talk to me, they don't join me.
Yeah.
And I found it's easier to get people to not join than it is to try to get them out.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This is from a Voice Down Under, which is our friend T in Australia. And she said, I understand protests that get angry, though. It can't be easy going back to the place they were abused at.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what I think. You know, if you want to go how you think you should go out and protest, that's fine.
No, I agree with you. I'm very, very anti screaming because I feel like you do. It doesn't really, it's not going to get anybody out. I think I will say Streets, I think, is very effective. Just, he just is. I don't like I mean, it's not right for everybody, but it's right for him.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I think. Each person has to find what works for you,
Yeah.
and do what's right for you. And if you do what's right for you, you're going to feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So what do you do? Are you retired now, or are you still working?
I'm pretty much retired, I'd say. Yeah. I haven't worked in a couple months now. So yeah.
And how do you like it?
It's very nice, less stressful life. But it's also when you have more time, you go, okay, what am I supposed to do today? You have to think about how you're going to fill your day, which is kind of nice in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And I'm really glad. I'm glad to know someone else that's in South Dakota. You're
Oh
the
yeah,
first person. I've never met anybody. I always say my grandfather's from either North or South Dakota.
yeah.
And people are always like, really? You know,
Well, there's like I think it's like 700,000 or 800,000 people in the whole state, so it's not very big. Rapid City, where I am, is about 70,000 people, which is the second biggest town in the state. So yeah, it's kind of
that's
quiet up here.
that's good.
I like it. That's why I moved out of Phoenix, actually. So
Now, what is that?
I don't know. It looks like some page from my website.
Oh, what does
Um,
it say? Can you tell me?
just things that I've done in the past that I'm not ashamed of.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. That's your the cult expert is your
Yeah,
nickname.
my nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of the history of us protesting in Clearwater, or maybe lots of
Oh,
protesting. Anyway, yeah, I kind of always wanted to have some kind of a history of the protests. There hasn't really been that much. We got newspaper coverage here and there, but I tried to compile more of the history of protesting Scientology.
that's good.
Yeah,
And there's Lisa.
yeah, Lisa McPherson. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you were a big part of that. It's very, very important.
yeah. I helped organize those annual protests in Clearwater,
Yeah.
which was pretty fun. We started out with I think the first year was 18 people, and the last year we had like 70 people. So it never got
Right.
big, but we were pretty effective, I think.
Sure.
And
Oh,
they
good.
reacted in so many strange ways. One year they actually tore up the sidewalk in front of the Fort
Right.
Harrison Hotel, so we
Right.
wouldn't have a place to protest. I mean, think of who in the world does that? Tear
I
up
know
the
they
roads.
did that here in LA too with Anonymous.
Oh,
The
really?
second picket, they had a gigantic theater or like a screen
Okay.
at the end of or at the beginning of L. Ron Hubbard Way.
Yeah.
And we had to be across the street, and they played Tom Cruise videos all day and night.
Oh my God.
I know. It's
Yeah, they do the
unbelievable.
weirdest things. It's just
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, what are you thinking?
yeah. So anyway, that's what's scrolling by is kind of the history of different protests we did.
That's
So
great.
that was in Clearwater.
Now that your website is what?
Well, lisamcpherson.org, the main one, and then jeffjacobsen.org. I have stuff on there too.
Good. Good.
So yeah, that pickup was fun. That was David Turetsky.
Yeah.
It was really good thing. One fun thing in Clearwater, we had sharp people like David Turetsky, who's a professor. Okay.
Right.
So this is down by the Sandcastle Hotel. And we thought, okay, what they're going to do is take their buses, because in Clearwater they have their own buses, dozens of them, I
Right.
think. And they're going to put the buses along the sidewalk so the people at the Sandcastle across the street will not be able to see the protesters.
Right.
That's what David was thinking. So he said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll park there the night before, And then if they put the buses, too bad, because we're going to be there. So so he parked the car there. It was somebody's rental car. And then the next morning he rented a pickup truck and got in there. So it turns out not that they used their own buses, but they used U-Hauls. They rented like 30, I don't know, dozen or so, bunches of U-Haul trucks, and did exactly what David thought they were going to do, which is park along the sidewalk to hide us from the Sandcast people from seeing us protesters.
Right. Right.
So, but he thwarted that because right smack in the middle of the driveway, across the driveway, is where that truck was. So Dave and another guy from South Africa would sit in that truck and just, have fun all day.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of a lot of back and forth like that with Scientology and Clearwater. They would get permits for a day on the sidewalk we were going to use. So we had to go figure out, now what do we do? We had to go somewhere else to protest. I had to go clear into Tampa to get permits sometimes because Port Harrison Avenue is actually a highway. It's a state highway.
Wow.
So I had to get a permit from the state as well to protest on South Fort Harrison because of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we had to do quite a bit of fiddling around, and they would react to us, and we'd have to react to them, whatever the heck they did. It was like cat and mouse kind of stuff.
Yeah, Dave Turetsky, you might have been part of this. He set up a thing where they had here in California, Narcanon, which is Scientology's drug education program, was in every school, every public school, all the way through the whole state. Were you part of that?
No, I don't think so. No, that would have
Well,
been
he got a group of people that were critics, and they did the research. And then he called me up and he said, look, they're going to do a big article on it in San Francisco, but we have to have someone that knows, something about Scientology.
Right.
So I said, well, have him call me. I'll do the best I can.
Yeah.
I didn't work at Narcanon. I mean, I worked there for a little teeny bit, but I wasn't really a staff, but I know a lot about Scientology. So it ended up, my main quote was Narcanon is 100% under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology International.
Okay.
So that means for what they're doing, that violates church and state.
Ah, right, because they're getting state funding. You mean?
Yeah, state run. So they gave them 2 weeks to get out all the religious stuff out of Narcanon, their drug education program. They can't because of what is Scientology.
Yeah.
And you can't change anything, or at least you couldn't then. Miscavige does now. But anyway, they wiped it out. They're out of all the schools. So I always tell people, if you're in a different state and you have kids, make sure to check if any of the Scientology stuff is, creeped in. Narcanon, Way to Happiness, Applied Scholastics, all that.
That's good.
And what I always ask that helps is, I don't say, are you Scientologists? I say, have you ever used any of the Hubbard technology at all in your school?
Right. Yeah.
Because then it comes up.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's there's the people around doing things that we don't know about that are pretty helpful.
Oh
yeah. They don't mind not getting attention from it either. So
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone just wrote me today and said some big stuff is happening back lines. And just so you know, and I just wrote them back and said, well, thank you for continuing what you're doing. True. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad they're doing it.
Yeah. I don't want to know. Don't tell me what it is.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I thank you, Jeff. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we end off? Okay, here's a question. Did Scientologists, this is from 49ers for Life, did Scientologists ever picket outside of Jeff's house?
Twice. Yeah, I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, South Scottsdale. And I didn't even know about it, actually. I think the one time I wasn't home, and the second time, it was at night, and I must have been sleeping or something. I don't know. I didn't hear him, but my neighbors came out and kind of harassed him, and they finally left. So yeah, they picketed more. I think 4 times they picketed. I was a DJ for singles dances in Phoenix, and my dad owned the company, and so when we'd be in a certain hotel, outside of that hotel would be like 20 or 30 Scientologists protesting about how I'm a child molester, or I forget what all they said on
They
their
always say
sign.
that.
Yeah,
We need some new lines.
yeah. So that happened 3 or 4 times. They protested our business.
And what was you were a DJ for what? What was your
Single
dad?
dances for single people.
Oh,
Yeah, I did
that's
that for
cool.
quite a while. Yeah. So yeah, they try to, I was never an ex-member, so I don't think they attacked me as much as they did a lot of people like you, for example, or Jerry Armstrong, or those type people. But they did things against me for sure,
Right. Yeah.
and they threatened to sue me
Probably
too.
especially because you have the website up.
Oh, yeah. Something interesting about that is LisaMcPherson.org. You would think they would attack a lot. I normally they've never bothered me about that website, and I suspect that it's because Miscavige himself was involved in that case. So they don't want, if
Oh,
they go after me, that means I can bring him up.
yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good
I
point.
mean, that's just my theory, but I think there's something to that.
No, I think you're right. All right. Now this is from
Ed, anonymous dude.
Hey, hey, it's Jeff. Miss you, buddy. Aw,
Yeah,
nice.
we picketed together in Phoenix. He was one of the anonymous folks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
good
All right,
times.
now here's another one.
Yeah, there you go. Technology days.
Also, we protested with Jess in Phoenix during the Chinology days. Chinology was the nickname for Anonymous
Yeah.
that took on the church for any of the new guys here. Okay, now this is another one. This is from Kelly. If you'd like to know more about Jeff, he has put together a website.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to lisamcpherson.org, I think that links to my other page too. So
Oh, good.
just go there.
And that's a really great website. It really is. All right. And Baby Davy doesn't want any attention, but yeah.
I didn't
He's
know that when I made the website that Miscavige himself has involved himself in Lisa McPherson's auditing. But now the people who were there, ex-members who were there in Scientology, knew that David Miscavige was deeply involved in her
right.
auditing.
Right.
So I added that into the website.
That's why I think he's not saying anything.
Right.
And they're
Yep.
not protesting it. It's the same for Andreas with Xenu.net. They didn't do too much. They did some stuff, but not too much.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they wanted people to know about it. This is from Donna Davy. Jeff, if you had to choose a location where you left, you
I
got
assume
through and educated the most people, where would that be?
I assume that means online, and I think geez, suddenly forgot his name. Tony Ortega. I think
Yeah,
if you follow Tony Ortega, he keeps up with everything, and he's a really good writer. And
yeah,
I think I'd start there.
yeah.
He's
And I think he's stably, he does stuff every day. So he's really,
yeah, he's the most active current person too. I would say, keeping
yeah,
people informed.
yeah. Good, 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 good answer. All right. Well, thank you for that. Are there any other questions or comments? Or Jeff, do you have anything that you want to say?
Probably, but I forgot. Yeah.
Well, it was
No,
really
I
fun
think,
to talk to you.
yeah, I think the only thing I really wanted to say for sure was about the uh, method of protesting is just first and foremost, be a nice person and then go from
Right.
there. You know,
Right.
that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what I think Streets does. He's out there talking with the kids and kind of educating them, you know, not to go in there because it
sure.
is, you know, it's bad news.
Yeah. And
So,
also, I'm not in LA. You know, I've never met Streets. I only know them from what I've seen on YouTube and what I read. So I'm sort of secondhand giving my opinion of what they're doing too. So you know,
yeah, yeah.
keep that in mind.
They've gotten some really good stuff done. It's been
Yeah,
really good.
that's good.
All right, Munchkin. Well, anyway, thank you for coming on. It was fun to talk to you.
Sure. Yeah. Once every 10 years, we'll do this, right?
Once every 10 years. No way. We have to do
Yeah.
it more than that.
It's just been a while. Let's put it that way.
It has been a while. It has.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun. You're welcome, Kelly. I thought it'd be fun if we do one with you, me, and Mark.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be good.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
We could do the
he was
three of us.
he was a downstairs person at the trust, so he would know more of the things going on down there than me anyway. So that'd be good.
I mean, he was in. You know, all three of us were in on the protests and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just fun stuff to talk about.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So
All right.
alrighty.
Well, you take care of you, and
All right.
thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks. Glad you're doing this.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. All right. Well, I'm going to end off now. Oh wait, let me see. Wait, maybe there's. I think. Let me see. No, I think I answered both of those, Kelly. It says there's two that are starred, but I answered them.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Well, anyway, thank you to everyone who came on. Thank you, Kelly, for helping moderate, and Donna for helping moderate, and Jeff, definitely thank you for coming on and sharing. I'm glad you brought the websites and stuff like that. That really helped.
Oh, yeah, good. All right. Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome. All right. You take care of you.
Will do.
All right. Adios. Now, did it end?
I don't know.
She was a flower child dreamer with the whole wide world to see. Then they said, think for yourself, while handing her what to believe. They painted shadows on the windows, said the outside world was cold. But she kept a spark inside her, and that spark refused to fold. My view was here, with an open heart and open eyes. My view was here, laughing loud beneath kinder skies. She broke through the fear, found a world that holds her near. Till next time, take care. Magoo was here.